And a jolly good evening from a busy North London outside Tottenham Hale railway station. And I noted I had a couple of hours to kill this evening and wondered if I could find a nice little walk to do. And then one jumped out from me from my friends at the Go Jauntly app called the Tottenham Riviera. And I thought, well, it takes about an hour. Apparently, to walk it. This is probably a walk that would suit someone that wants to get off the station early, as I've previously mentioned. So if you're coming into London and going to, say, Seven Sisters, get off at Tottenham Hale, or if you're coming to Tottenham Hale, get off at Seven Sisters and do this walk in either direction and get those steps up at the same time. So anyway, I'm at Tottenham Hale. I'm going to walk to the end of the walk, which is fairly close at least to Seven Sisters station, where I shall walk back to and then carry on about my business this evening. So I don't really know what to expect from a walk called the Tottenham Riviera. Sounds interesting. Let's go along, let's see what it's all about, and hope you come along with me. Right, so I'm following the Go Jauntly map, which is telling me to come in this general direction. And already I see a sign there saying Walthamstow Wetlands, and that's the direction they're pointing me in on the app. So this is sounding quite promising. Maybe Riviera is overselling it slightly. Maybe it's possibly a little tongue-in-cheek. I don't know. I don't really know this part of London particularly well. And I know it's a very busy urban area, so let's go and have a see what this Tottenham Riviera is all about. Well, the first place I seem to be coming to is a place called Hale Village, with some quite swanky looking apartment blocks that I'm sure cost an absolute fortune to buy or rent. They look very nice and very new. And the app is suggesting that this is a good area for a few half-decent bars and pubs and eateries. Well, I can see an Asda and a Tesco. It mentions a brewery just down here as well, so let's just go and have a look. That's what I like about these walks, especially urban walks in the middle of parts of cities you wouldn't ordinarily come to unless you've got specific business there. It's amazing what you find. This is all very new. Last time I came to Tottenham, I don't recall it looking anything like this. So we're going to head along here. Still some apartments being built there by the looks of it. It's quite, yeah, as I say, it's quite a new area, newly developed. And there's a lot of accommodation shot up around here, that is for sure. And it looks like we're going to be going on the River Lea navigation. For those of you that don't know, the River Lea starts its life in Leagrave, near to Luton, and winds its way through Hertfordshire, through London, and eventually ends up in the River Thames, not all that far away from here. I've just crossed over the junction there with Millmead Road, and got to cross over again here to follow the river or the navigation down in that direction. And there we have it. I guess we've arrived at the Tottenham Riviera already. I've only really walked parts of this river at the Luton and the Hertfordshire end, the beginning of it, and right down close to where it joins the River Thames. Never in this part. Very interesting, actually. Really quite nice, actually. There's some locks. So it's essentially at this point a canal as opposed to a river. It's not the greatest sight to see, but I guess appears to be a river outlet just here, entering the canal, and this is scooping up all the garbage that's floated down the river, and there's a lot of it. That's pretty grim, but at least it's not getting into the canal. So I suppose this is the actual river, the River Lea. And this is the River Lea navigation, the part of it that's a canal and that boats can go up and down. Seems funny being at this end of it actually, when the other end of it goes straight through the middle of Luton, and a lot of garbage gets thrown into it there as well. I wonder how much of it actually makes it all the way down here. It's a shame, but there you go. Maybe some of it accidentally fell in the water, but certainly all of it didn't, as I frequently say. Anyway, on that slightly sad note, at least there's an effort there to try and stop it continuing on down, and I guess ultimately out into the River Thames and out to sea. Simplest solution, of course, would be not to throw stuff in the river in the first place. Wow, this is really quite nice, actually. I'm surprised at this. I didn't realise it was quite as pleasant as this. Geese with their little goslings out for a walk over there. Actually, just looking back on the map, that river outlet wasn't the River Lea joining the navigation. That was in fact Pimm's Brook. So there we go. Never heard of that one. But wherever Pimm's Brook starts, it ends there, and it seems to bring a lot of rubbish with it. I have to say though, apart from that, it does look fairly clean along here, and reasonably well kept. It's a nice place to walk actually. If you lived in this part of London, this would be an ideal place to go for your jogs or walks with your dog and so on. London never ceases to amaze me, these sort of areas that you can hunt out if you really try. So thank you to whoever posted the Tottenham Riviera walk on the Go Jauntly app. Much appreciated. Thank you. Of course, this isn't the countryside, this is a big city, so it's not hard to remember that fact. Just filtering in on the left over there is what's shown on the map as the River Lea diversion. I don't know where it's been diverted from, but presumably River Lea needed to be diverted somewhere at some time, and to rejoin this rather man-made part of it along here. I'm guessing that from the River Lea navigation you can connect to the Regent's Canal and the Grand Union Canal and the canal network in general across the UK. really try hard and block out a lot of that background noise. You can hear the sound of the city in the background. You could be in the middle of the countryside here. There is an incredible amount of wildlife to be seen down here, mostly waterborne. The walk from when I joined the towpath, I guess, to Markfield Park, I believe it's called, as the next port of call, is approximately 10 to 15 minutes. According to the map, at least, where the River Lea diversion came in over on the other side, this is now the River Lea as opposed to the River Lea navigation. So it's certainly a lot wider than the North Hertfordshire end of things, and Bedfordshire, of course, where it starts. Lea Valley Walk. I think the Lea Valley Walk is in one form or another goes along the full length of the river. Maybe something I'll consider doing one day, but it's a fair distance and would probably take more than one day, really. In fact, I'm certain it would take more than one day. It must be a good 35 to 40 miles from the source of the river to the River Thames. That's not going to be walked in one day, but not by me anyway. It's going under the railway lines now. This is, I find this quite amusing actually. Just here, that's the River Moselle, emptying out into the Lea, and it comes from somewhere over there. The other River Moselle I know about is a very big one in Germany that empties out into the River Rhine in a fantastic place called Koblenz. And yeah, the River Moselle is like a slightly smaller version of the River Rhine if you've ever been along there. And Koblenz is the place where the two rivers meet, and it's an interesting city. Now, I think that's the end of the Tottenham Riviera part of this walk. As such, that continues on down there, ultimately arriving at the River Thames. But the walk that I've been given takes me into this park here, Markfield Park. So let's go and have a see what's in here. According to the information I have here, this park was opened in 1910. Or no, yes, well, around about that, and renovated and made to be more user-friendly and a decent green space for this part of London, which is certainly at a premium. Oh, that's interesting over there. I wasn't wondering what was over the top of this graffiti concrete area. 2010, it had a lot of money spent on it, and these areas of London are vital. You've got the royal parks, which are kept in pristine condition most of the time. Some of the lesser parks, often not quite so, but they are important to the people that live in those areas. You can see there's some football pitches over there. Again, vital for the people of this area. And it's about 8:15, 8:30 in the evening, and there's a cafe here, but it's closed now. This wouldn't be a bad place to sit down for half an hour for a coffee and an ice cream. Presumably open every day. Quite a big cafe as well. And a rose garden. What's this? Well, this is interesting me. I'm going to have to go around and have a look at this. It's like some sort of museum or... Wow, now that is interesting. The Markfield Beam Engine and Museum. A free museum celebrating Tottenham's public health heritage and unique sewage pumping engine. And there's the website for it. As it's evening time, of course, it's closed, so I can't really go and have a look in there. But again, that's going to go on my to-do list. Along with the Brunel Museum that I've visited recently, or I visited when it was got to it when it was closed, but I'm going to go back to down in Shoreditch. There's a lot of yeah, it's just a good place for people to congregate and look at the graffiti and so on. Interesting. Very interesting. I should be back here. And of course the rose garden there, if that's your thing. Not really the time of year for them. There's only a few. Plenty buds there ready to burst open once the weather gets a bit nicer. I'm always delighted to come across places like this that I've never even heard of, let alone been to. And it's a nice park. I mean, maybe 2010 when it had some money spent on it, perhaps before that it was a bit of a no-go zone. I can imagine that being the case if it had been not very well looked after. Once I get a chance, I'm going to Google it and have a look at the history of this place. There were certain parts of London at one time, before a bit of money was spent on them, that probably I'll be starting to feel a bit uncomfortable about walking around at this time in the evening. But at the moment it's okay. Kids playing in the playground over there. Seems all right. Well, that's the end of the park. I'm going to head out now in this general direction. Probably about halfway through the walk now. And very interesting it's been so far as well. Anyone know what all these concrete buildings used to be? And obviously there's a pump room over there to do with the sewage works and a beam engine. And perhaps this was all to do with that. Basically it's been turned into an area where it seems to be okay to do some graffiti, do some sort of street art and hang around. There's a skate park just up there that's been created from the remnants of all of this. And so we leave the park underneath this railway line. And once we're out of the park, which is back through under that railway bridge, just into a sort of an industrial area really, with a mixture of industrial buildings and things like gyms and one or two other businesses knocking about down here. This is the Tottenham I remember from previous visits, not the gentrified areas around Tottenham Hale Station with all those swanky apartments. That's not what I remember from my last visit here. And I certainly don't remember a park kept in that nice condition, and the River Lea and River Lea navigation. The bit further down towards the Thames was never very nice, but that's nice now, so I'm presuming it's been updated and upgraded and improved all along, right the way through this part of London. This guy, they don't mess about in the middle of London. Foxes just wandering about. They're not bothered about humans. They're looking for the next McDonald's wrapper with half the food still left in it. As far as the Tottenham Riviera part of the walk goes, that was thoroughly enjoyable, as was the walk around the park. Back to sort of more urban environment here with street art and a bit more noise and traffic. I'm going to continue this video on though to Seven Sisters Station, where I'll be rejoining the underground and heading on my way. It's not particularly far from here, but as far as the routing on the maps on the app I should say is concerned, more or less at the end of it now. Just at the end of Markfield Road, and just over there is the end of the walk called Tottenham Riviera. We'll continue along, see what we see between here and Seven Sisters Station. Starting to get a bit dark now. There's not a huge amount to see, I shouldn't think, but let's carry on anyway. And Mannion's Prince Arthur, a highly recommended pub by all accounts. The High Cross Centre, not quite sure what that is. Doesn't look particularly interesting at this time of night from here anyway. So if you do the Tottenham Riviera walk and join at Tottenham Hale Station, this is where the walk on the app ends, just on this corner of Broad Lane and by the Mannion's Prince Arthur public house. To get to Seven Sisters, we carry on down Broad Lane, so you'd have come out from the park under that railway bridge through this the industrial estate, and there's a sign there for the Markfield beam engine. I'm going to have a bit of reading up about that later when I get the chance. And the walk to Seven Sisters Station is down here approximately 10 minutes. So in theory you could start your walk there and go back in the opposite direction, so you'd come along Broad Lane from Seven Sisters and then take a right turn towards the beam engine, through the park, round to the left onto the towpath of the river, take a left and back up and follow that along until you come to Tottenham Hale railway station. Very interesting, and I'm very interested to see how much Tottenham has changed in recent years, particularly around Tottenham Hale. This is This is the Tottenham I remember, the bit I'm in now. And in fact most of North London really, very similar to this. But there's some real hidden gems in all parts of London if you hunt them out. I just found one today. This is one thing I love about London. You can usually grab yourself some food at more or less any time of the night and day. There's another fox. Is that the same one? Is he following me? Looks the same. Looks mangy like the one I saw. Okay. Hello. He's looking for some tea, isn't he? Look at this place. That's an impressive fruit and veg display. I reckon that was the same fox who's been following me. Just crossing over Walton Road now and Hanover Road on the other side. Going to be coming to the A10, very busy road through out of London fairly shortly, and once we get there it's just a little left turn, crossover and the right onto the Seven Sisters Road, where we will find Seven Sisters underground station. Just coming up to that now, just ahead. Just starting to go dark, as you can probably tell by the lights on the cars, so it's probably not an area to be wandering around aimlessly at night time. So I'm going to call it a day very shortly. Right, so that's it. We've reached the busy A10 and extremely noisy A10 as well. The entrance to the underground here is your best way to get to it, as it's also a subway underneath the road rather than trying to cross over there. The tube station's just down the Seven Sisters Road over there. And I'll call it a day. If you enjoy these walks or want to see some more, I've got plenty more urban walks from A to B, stopping short, walking to the next station, all that sort of stuff, and some walks in overseas places, in various places all around the world. If you want to see some of them, press subscribe and you'll get notified when I put some more up. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this. If you've got this far, you probably did like it, so click the like button too, and I hope you enjoy some others very soon. Cheers now. Oh, and now they've stopped drilling. Great. Oh, there we go again. Have a nice evening.